just the bon dias, botard, the bonoits, I mean, I've sat in a cafe by myself one time, and I just could not believe the amount of people that went by and said good morning.
I'm Joseph, and this is my wife, Robin.
Hello.
And we moved to Portugal in 2022 from the United States. Robin had traveled quite often. She was a flight attendant. We got the idea of just watching some YouTubes one time about Europe and different things, and maybe looking at Italy to go to, because they had $1 houses that you could go and get the house and rehab it. And then sanity came in. I figured at 70 years old I did not probably need to be remodeling another house. So
although we kind of did that here too. So.
Although we did that here.
We had planned to come here, so for about a month and a half before we traveled, we had our Portugal map on our wall in Colorado, and we had mapped out all the little areas with our little highlighter that we wanted to visit, and we had kind of talked to different people in different areas. And so Joe had mentioned Ponte de Lima, and you know, you discuss so much that you can't remember what's what. But I remember him mentioning it to me and saying, you know, the bike trails, the river, and the access to the ocean. So that was one of the things we had learned from our other moves in life, was that wherever we choose to live, we want to make sure we can hit some bike trails. We want to have walking, cycling. We like to kayak, so we had that here with the Lima River. And we're not huge beach people, but we love now to go to the beach in the wintertime. It's really funny. So we came and we traveled through central Portugal a little bit. We came up north here, and we were actually leaving to go back and look at some other areas. And we were in Braga, and we woke up that morning and Joe said, do we have to meet with these people today? And do we have to do what we have planned? And I said, no, why? What do you want to do? He goes, let's go back to Ponte de Lima. And we just fell in love. And we probably bought the tiniest little house in our village, and people were like, you're American, you're okay with this house? I'm like, it's me and my husband, of course we are. The first house I fell in love with was up in the mountains, and it was the old stone and this beautiful wood. And I begged my husband, I said, yes, this is it. I'm like, I love this place. And he's like, Robin, what are you gonna do up here? I was like, I'm gonna sit and stare at the sheep and the green grass. And he's like, you won't make it 2 months.
No.
And thank goodness we didn't do that, because then you had the drive into town, the drive out. I would have been worried all the time. So,
yeah. So we actually live in a small village right just outside of.
Well, we're still in Ponte de Lima.
Yeah, just outside of Ponte de Lima, Fontão, and.
But there's a barber shop for men, a hair salon. Yeah. Not that you can't go to either one, but you know, for the women, there's a little market, Marciado, that you can. And one day I was baking, and sure enough, I ran out of eggs or something, and I'm like, oh, I can just run down to my little market, like on my feet, not in my car. That was kind of lovely. And we go to our coffee shop every single day. Sometimes I don't feel like it, but it's now become very important to him, which I love.
The sense of community is missing in a lot of places, especially the bigger towns and stuff.
So busy.
So here in the smaller villages, even Ponte de Lima, you know, is a small village. We think you have that sense of community.
My Portuguese neighbors must be from another life, because my first birthday here, you know, you're starting to go, what have I done? And you're working on your house and everything's different. My first birthday, my neighbor had a beautiful bouquet of flowers tied to my gate for me. She knew because we were friends on Facebook, and we would talk at the gate and exchange fruit and pastries and things. I'd bake them little cakes, and then we'd run home and text each other so we could translate. But those flowers out there, like I will take this to my grave wherever I am. That was so touching to me. And in Portugal in general, just the bon dias, botard, the bonoits, I mean, I've sat in a cafe by myself one time, and I just could not believe the amount of people that went by and said good morning or good afternoon. Like I just thought it was fascinating.
When we lived in the United States, every week, Robin would say, we'd watch something on TV, and she would talk about the Camino de Santiago. And she had
years.
for years, and she had this dream of going on the Camino de Santiago. Well, we didn't know this when we moved here, that the central route of the Portuguese Camino goes right through Ponte de Lima.
Yes.
So, that was really a plus, when we came here. And then so Robin got the idea that let's just do the Camino, because my 70th birthday was coming up.
It was our first year here.
So we decided, we bike a lot, so we decided to do it by bicycle.
Hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Why did I choose Ponte de Lima was I believe it's magic here. I believe it is magical. I know when we went back, it really didn't make a lot of sense for us to do this. And I said to my husband, please. And he said, well, if it doesn't happen this year, next year. And I said, please, let's do this. Like, I literally looked at a house that didn't even have a bathroom. I'm like, I'll take it. I was like, we've got to get there. So it was just something I really cannot explain. It was a calling really deep in my soul. I know that might sound strange, but it really was and is. And I love this place. I think it's magical.
And Ponte de Lima is such a nice village, or town or village, that because it's a tourist town, we would call it as a tourist
like
type
a Portuguese
town,
tourist.
but it's not that touristy, if that makes any sense. They come and then they go. They're like day tourists. They'll come in buses and then they'll leave. So most of the time you have this beautiful place to yourself, and just to the locals, where you can walk around and look. And the events that, it's pretty impressive, a town this size, and the free events that people can go to and the locals can go to, like at the Expo Lima, the horse shows, and the different places, things like that are always put on, and there's always something going on, and it's really a neat place.
Yes, a lot of biking events too, mountain biking events. I mean, they just climb these mountains like it's just amazing to me.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a beautiful area.
Yep. Ponte de Lima should be proud.
Yes, yes.